Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. I got inspired by the holidays. So, walking the aisles in Hobby Lobby, I seen these beautiful kind of rose gold little ornaments, and I thought I'm going to put together a wedding bouquet, bridal bouquet, with kind of a winter holiday theme. So, I want to add just a little touch of this kind of rose gold pinky color. And I thought, well, maybe I'll do the gold as well. So I had prepped most of my flowers, but I'm going to turn to these ornaments here. And they're plastic ornaments. This trick works with glass ornaments as well. Just hot gluing the little hook on it to make sure that it doesn't pull off. This is a great way too, if you're doing a holiday wreath, to add the ornaments to the wreath securely, especially if it's an outside wreath, to keep it from the hot glue from freezing and falling off. But anywho, moving on. So I glued the tips of the ornaments. I'm going to set them aside, let them set up, and then I turn to the sparkly branch, and I'm going to chop it down to what I like to call bite-sized chunks. So I wanted smaller little individual leaves because I'm hoping to add a great texture in this bouquet. I have some mint colored wintergreen. I have some baby's breath. And then I've got this beautiful sparkle branch. And this too, if you're not doing a winter themed wedding, just picking up these sparkly things around this time of year, these sparkle branches and stuff like that, is kind of a great way to save money, even if you're doing like a spring wedding, to have just that touch of sparkle. It doesn't necessarily have to be for a winter wedding, but right now a lot of the holiday doodads and flowers and branches and stuff are like half off. So get them while you can, I guess, basically. Even if you think that might not use them, but you might, I would still pick them up because it's a great savings right now, and there's a huge selection available. So once I have my little bite-sized chunks there, I'm gonna wire them up and use some wax floral tape to cover up my wire. And I don't know if you noticed, but my light went out and then my wire got caught and it was a little messy there for a second. So I just cut out just real quick while I reset everything. Turning back to the ornaments, I put a wire through the ornament holder nice and secure. And now I'm going to take my wax floral tape and then just run it along the wire there to kind of secure it to the wire, hide my mechanics, and kind of keep that wire from being too pokey as well. So, and if you want to put multiple ornaments, this is a great way to do it too. When I used to do holiday wreaths, I would take 3 ornament bulbs and just hook them all together on the wire, and it made like a nice little bundle to work with. So it's just a little easier to work with, but I did too little there. And I ended up not even using the gold ornament, so all that work for nothing. But at least it's ready for the next project. So moving on, I have some white ranunculus, and I have these beautiful kind of off-white, peachy, it almost has like a little touch of pink to it, garden roses. I didn't want to go like crazy pink on it. I wanted more of like that white, wintry feel. So I'm using the white roses, or ranunculus, maybe they are, as kind of a base or a backdrop to hold my flowers in place. So the garden roses have that different color than all the other flowers. So that's going to stand out the most. So there's no sense in hiding it behind everything. So I set it on top of the other white flowers, as I know that's going to be more of my focal point. But I really did want a lot of texture in this bouquet, so I'm going to work it in those sparkle branches a little bit early. Use some baby's breath there too, which also holds everything in place. And on a previous video, I used hydrangeas the same way, because it kind of makes like almost like a netting that you can weave the flowers into. It helps hold them in place, keep everything where you want it. As you can see, I'll do like continual fluffing throughout because I kind of lose it in my hands, as to where having those backdrop flowers will really help keep things steady. I have some individual paper white orchids that I wrapped. They come on a big stem. I just clipped them off and did a little wiring similar to how I wired up the sparkle branches. I'm going to work them into place there. I put the smaller orchids more towards the top. I didn't want them to fight those garden roses. And then I worked the bigger, flatter roses onto the outside. And so I've got the orchids working in there, and I kind of wanted a cascading effect, kind of a teardrop shaped bouquet. I want that drama with it. I've got the sparkles, I'm going to have the ornaments, I got the texture, so might as well give it that added drama of flowing forward. So I work my flowers more forward, still keeping flowers to the back because the back should be just as pretty as the front. So you want the carrier to see something pretty as well as everybody else. So it's like a 360 bouquet. But I am starting to bring those flowers forward rather than adding on to the back or to the diameter of the bouquet itself. I have this beautiful kind of minty wintergreen that I love using. And this is one of those things that I actually picked up after the holidays when they're having like their super sales. And I thought, wow, it's a really pretty color. I had nothing to use it into, but I have used it in many, many bouquets now because I picked up so much of it. So it's such a good deal. But it did come in handy, and it actually is beautiful, even in spring bouquets too. It's got a little bit of frosty to it, and it works really nicely with the whites. Did have some Dusty Miller as well. And you can see I have kind of a burgundy wine colored, almost myrtle in there. I wasn't sure if I was going to use that, but I prepped it anyways. I'd rather be more prepared than not. So you can see it's starting to come together. I've got that kind of teardrop shape, kind of cascading forward there. I'm going to use my greenery to bring more drama to that front overflow. There is it's almost got like a plastic feel greenery. I think it's some type of myrtle almost, it seems. But as you can see it kind of shaking there in the bouquet, it has a really nice movement to it. It kind of gives life to the bouquet. And again, that drama, you want that flowing forward, dripping down, just a nice flowy bouquet. As I was putting this together, it was a little hard to see in the camera the front of the bouquet, so often I did have to turn it around to see what I was doing, but it reminded me that if you're struggling, stand in front of a mirror and you can see how you look carrying it, and you can do the adjustments by looking in the mirror, and it just gives a different viewpoint so that you can see how other people might be looking at the bouquet. Sometimes when you get so involved in it, you don't see places that you can improve, but once you have that reflection, it gives that different point of view. And plus you can kind of pretend, if you're not the bride, that maybe just this once as you're adjusting the bouquet that this is your wedding. Or maybe not. I might have revealed too much about myself. But moving forward, so I'm going to work around the base of the bouquet. I've got that nice moving myrtle around the bottom there. I'm working in some more of the white sparkles. And I do have some lamb's ear leaves individually wrapped that I'm going to use to hide my mechanics. That's going to be the very under collar of the bouquet. Because like I said, it's going to be pretty all the way around. You're going to hide your mechanics. You don't want anybody to see how this beautiful bouquet goes together. It'll be your little secret. Nobody has to know. So here we go with the lamb's ear collar on the bottom. And I wasn't thinking, I should have turned it around when I was done. This bouquet actually will be for sale on my website. So you can go to orlandorose.shop, take you right to the store, or you can go to orlandorose.com. There's some tips and tricks on there, a couple of blogs, a little bit about me, and then of course you can also visit the store that way too. But this will be up for sale. And you can tell everyone that you got to see your bouquet being created, one of a kind, right? So I did end up doing a lot of fluffing throughout this. Like I said, I was having problems kind of seeing it in the reflection there. And at the end, I did do a stem wrap on it with some double face satin ribbon. And then I gave it a ribbon treatment around the handle in a little bit of a rose gold ribbon with some pearls and rhinestones. And I will link that video. I did it 2 separate videos, so I'll link that video at the end of this one if you wanted to see how I treated the hand wrap. This would actually be a good handle though, because there's so many thin wires. It's a little bit thinner handle if you wanted to do a natural stem wrap, and you can use artificial rose stems to cover all the wires. You kind of hot glue them around the handle itself, and then you just trim up all the wires and put a little band on it. But it would look pretty with a natural looking handle. So I'm working in just a few of the bulbs. I think it was 4 of the little rose gold bulbs there. Did lots of fluffing, so I just kind of cut that out so you didn't have to see me mess with it there. But once I had everything where I think I'd like it, I take a chenille stem or a pipe cleaner. I like using that because it gives a tighter grip, and I'm just going to wrap it right where my hand was and hold everything in place. And I do add a little bit of hot glue, I don't show it here, right into the center base of the bouquet, just to keep everything nice and stable. But there you go, made it to the end. We've got a winter bouquet inspired by some ornaments. Thank you so much for watching.